各位观众朋友们，大家好，祝大家佳节快乐，圣诞节快到了，这是 J 与 J 论坛，我是 Jimmy 马健，与我们 Jim 的伟一起来跟大家聊聊这个礼拜的时事。How are you doing, Jim?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. Good to see you again, and welcome to everybody around our world.
I had to put up Christmas lights a couple of weeks ago, and it's every year is the same. This year is because of the pandemic. We want to go all out. My little neighborhood, my cul-de-sac, everybody put up lights, more so than before. Some people paid, some people do it themselves, and we ran out of time to find someone to put it up, so we did it ourselves. And it's you're getting the holiday spirit.
Well, I think this year it's more important than most years because everybody's looking for that spirit to come interrupt all the other difficulties that everybody's going through.
My family and I, we do a lot of, we try to give back every year. We're on Chinese American Relief Effort Care. We donate supplies to elementary every year to a different school. This year, because of the pandemic, we kind of ceased operations, so we can't raise funds and we can't go to the schools. But there's still a lot of other charities that support. One of them is we sponsor a family each Christmas. This year, it's a lot.
It's what?
More in need, a lot more families.
Much more in need.
We can see, every year we try to help and we see the list of things they ask for. But there's a criteria, obviously, single parent homes, they're on the government programs. And like, let's say last year, single mom, 4 kids. These mothers are working 2 to 3 jobs. Last year, she was working 3 jobs because we went to their home, their apartment. They work. They're not. This is not the narrative that some political parties use that these are, no, they're working. They have kids. One kid with special need. And it could happen to any of us. We call it the sperm lottery. We won the sperm lottery. We were born in a family that provided for us and gave us opportunity. Some were not. And I see their kids, they're good kids. They're courteous, they have manners. So it breaks my heart. And this year, family of 4 again, single mom. You know the things they ask for? They're not asking for toys or electronics. They're asking for shampoo, soap, mattress.
And
it's in Houston too. It's hi. Somebody was that Mrs.
Sylvia?
Yeah,
This is Jimmy Ma.
We've met before. Hi, Mrs. Noteware. Good seeing you.
Okay,
No worries. You're not going to be famous. A lot of people will know you.
Oh, no. I just need to make a copy of something.
So Jim, like I said, it's extra hard this year, this pandemic, and it kind of relates to. Let me go ahead and translate what we just said before I forget it. Then
go right ahead.
我们今年这个要过圣诞节了，在美国像过年跟这全部很多就是美国的圣诞节是最重要的节日。我们每年都会赞助一个低收入的单亲的家庭，那今年更是比过去几年更需要帮助。这些很多都是单亲家庭。某些政党会说这些人都很懒啊，拿着政府的救助，其实不是的。当你去真正了解的时候，他们这些妈妈们或者是单亲爸爸们，他每个人都是有2到3份的工作，为了要养这小孩。有的小孩有特殊的这个比如说有特殊的需要 ，it's not easy， 真的很辛苦。不是像他们要求的清单，不是像你们想象的要求什么礼物啊，或者什么玩具，要的很简单，要床垫、肥皂这些 ，it's， 所以很感慨。But 我们更是需要去帮助他们，所以希望各位观众在今年圣诞节，不只是要这个感恩跟回顾，也希望能帮助这些需要帮助的人，尤其是在我们休斯顿。So I was telling our audience that because Christmas is a time to give thanks, to show gratitude. But we also should remember the less fortunate, especially this year.
And the needs are very special and very acute this year, and very uneven.
It is. The market keeps going up. Lots of IPOs coming out. People that have white collar jobs that have 401k are anyone that owns stocks are doing well. especially tech stocks, or even some real estate. But the fact is the majority of Americans are suffering, and it is not being fairly represented, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a bubble, we all do. And well, this all relates to what is kind of a topic that I guess a lot of people are talking about. 我一直以为我们不想再讨论这个，因为我跟 Jim 过去这个礼拜不讨论选举，不讨论川普、川疯子，那我们就可以很开心的，很感恩的能够再聊天。可是一讲到选举，就是 every time we start talking about election again or this dragged out fiasco is a downer because it takes the joy out of me.
Yeah. Although it's like we were talking about before we came on the air, it is a very, very serious topic, and it has many, many long-term implications. It has short-term implications and it has long-term implications. I'd be happy to go into those.
Of course. That's what we want to hear. I understand what you're saying. I know what the short-term and the long-term consequences are, but I'm also very tired of it. I'm tired because so many states have rejected these frivolous, there's no basis to it anymore. Now, of course, I hear it all. Oh, when you're going to let the media direct it? Of course, there's basis. Release the Kraken. We have a secret witness called the Spider that is in the military intelligence. Well, I always tell them, prove it. Show it. You're attacking the Republican establishment in Georgia, in any state that, this is not, if you lose it, you just keep complaining. I can stand on the sandbox and accuse, let's say you, Jim, and call you names and make up lies. And when they ask me for proof, I won't have any. I'll just keep repeating the lie until it becomes real. Because my believers will believe me. This is not how it's supposed, of course it's not how it's supposed to be, but it's very distressing. What is your take on these frivolous lawsuits? Today's news is 17 states and Trump joined the state of Texas lawsuit. It is a stunt to resolve it by using the pretense that it's a dispute between states, so they could go to the state Supreme Court. And obviously, it's not going to work. But what is your take on it, Jim?
Well, my take is, and one huge caveat when guys like you and me get involved in discussions like this. I deal with lawyers every day.
So do I.
In lots of different ways. And one of my great frustrations is business people who may be well-intentioned and who may not be well-intentioned all try to play lawyer. They try to determine what a law says about this. They try to negotiate contracts. They try to document things, and they always get in trouble because they don't understand the law, the sensitivities, all of that thing. Okay, so you and I are on unstable ground here talking because we are not lawyers. Now, having said that, most lawyers don't agree on anything anyway, even when they do know the law, okay? And now, having said all of that, here's what I think is going on. I happen to believe that the Trump election was stolen. I have seen and read extreme amounts of information, and I am convinced of several things. I am convinced, number one, that there was a major initiative by the Democrat Party to create mail-in ballots, which are totally susceptible to fraud. Number two, I believe that fraud was realized and that a large number of invalid ballots were placed in cities like Detroit, like Philadelphia, that are known in good times to have terrible corruption in voting. Most of the time it doesn't matter because elsewhere in the states it's overvoted, et cetera, et cetera. But this time it was set up. I'm absolutely convinced that many state Supreme Courts are elected by the populace and are behaving politically, Pennsylvania among them, and are not adhering to the U.S. Constitution. Okay? Now, having said all of those things, I believe that there is systemic long-term corruption here, and this is much bigger, much longer term, and much more dangerous than just the Trump election. Why did this happen now? Because so many people absolutely hate Donald Trump, and they will do almost anything to get him out. They also, and I believe, and I'm reluctant to be overly partisan, Democrats want to sustain power for a very, very long time and are willing to do whatever it takes in order to do that. Now, having said all of this, I cannot figure out why the legal teams, who are some of them celebrated lawyers like Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani, are incapable of getting these lawsuits heard and sustained through the court system. There is something else significantly amiss here. Now, having said all of that, the next thing is, while I am a Trump supporter, I'm more of a Biden doubter. In other words, I'm the reverse of many people in the country. They hate Trump more than they like Biden. Okay? I'm the other way around. And why is that important? Because part of the reason that people don't like Mr. Trump is that he does not behave credibly all the time. And I believe that if you want to be heard in court, and it's both the court of law and it's the court of public opinion, you have to do things, you have to behave consistently with credibility. What Mr. Trump often relies on is what I call proof by assertion. In other words, if you say it loud enough, long enough, people may believe you. I believe that in this case, that works to Mr. Trump's disadvantage because nobody believes him anymore. And especially when so many of these lawsuits, which I wouldn't use the word frivolous, although most people do, are very, very weak, and they're thrown out on their lack of merit. I can't deny that that is the case, okay? And so what is going on the right side of the political spectrum is increasing desperation to do what in football would be called a Hail Mary pass, okay? And they're reaching further and further and further in order to get things heard. So there is a major disconnect between the substance of what I believe, and many, many others believe, actually happened in the voting process and being unable to prove it in the court of law. And so I think the Texas lawsuit that was filed a day or two ago is an example of that. I understand the legal principle of states being able to get directly to the Supreme Court without having to go through the lower courts. That makes perfect sense to me. But that principle that is embodied in the Constitution was put there, I believe, to protect states when there is a disagreement between states. This lawsuit isn't necessarily a disagreement between states. What this lawsuit says is this group of 17 states believe some of the other 33 misbehaved. But that is not a direct conflict like a border dispute between North Carolina and South Carolina, or some business in North Carolina behaving improperly in South Carolina, where you would have a direct dispute between states. I believe that they are using the part of the Constitution improperly. Now, some lawyers are going to disagree with what I say, and some
half will agree with you, half will disagree. That's the state of a nation now.
So at any rate, this problem is not going to go away. What do I think is going to happen? I believe Mr. Biden will be seated and inaugurated as the president, but I believe that this legal activity will continue and continue and continue. The stakes are just simply too high. And to your point about being tired of it, I think it's very, very disingenuous for the news media to say, oh, it's all decided. Oh, just let it go away. We're getting tired of it. Don't be sore loser. Go on.
Where is the proof, Jim? Show me the proof.
I believe the proof will come.
But yet it didn't come for months. Yet these great lawyers like Giuliani and Trumpers and half the nation believes in this.
Yeah.
And the states that are Republican-controlled states. What I mean is, Jim, this is what's distressing. You represent half of America right now. Okay?
The smaller half of America, right?
A little bit. Oh, how many total votes did Mr. Biden, President Biden, win by?
Oh, popular vote? I don't know, 6 or 7 million, something.
7 million. You're saying the Democrats cheated 7 million votes?
Probably.
Okay. Which is fine. That's fine. Like I said, half of my friends, half of Americans believe in it. This is my point. We support the right to defend our Constitution. We support this democracy. But if what we support is what precisely is hurting it. Look, if I tell you right now, don't trust any media. They're leading the narrative.
Don't trust it?
Media. This is how they destabilize. This is how they cloud your view. Trust no one because it doesn't fit the Trumpers' narrative, then don't trust them. Oh, you trust Fox before because it supported me. But now that Fox is no good, don't trust them. Don't trust any media. Okay, I'm going to keep getting donated. How much did he make? 200 million to stop this deal?
I think it is about 200 million.
Oh, yeah. And yet only a very small part of it. So they put up the show that they're fighting, that this is unfair, that the election was stolen. Then show me proof. Stop using cryptic accusations, gaslighting. We have a secret witness called the Spider. This is not acceptable. Let's release the Kraken. The two lawyers you mentioned, they're jokes. I'm sorry, they're clowns and they're jokes. Their legacy is destroyed. Please don't tell me that the Trump team, the Republican Party, doesn't have a team of lawyers like wolves that are unleashed to get evidence. If there's evidence, there would have been shown. So you're telling me corruption is only one side, only the Democrats, the liberal tards. It's only them because in 2016, they didn't cheat. Trump won fair and square. The Democrats didn't cheat. In 2000, when Al Gore lost by a few thousand votes in one county, nobody created a fuss. But only when it comes to Trump. Like I said again, Trump has hijacked conservative values, hijacked the Republican Party. History will judge him poorly. And in a few years, when we look back, I know that my friends that are Trumpers will never say, oh, he missiled me. Well, I didn't know any better. I was caught up. No one's going to say that. Everyone will be like, well, he's going to run again. This is a stolen election. Release the Kraken. No, I'm sorry. I'm tired of not. Guys, this is not how we. This conspiracy, this fiasco needs to stop. Proof. Show me proof. Even the Republican Party officials are starting to call them out, saying this is ridiculous. We know what's going on. So I can't just keep pointing fingers. The Democrats are not the ones accusing. It's someone standing in the soapbox, refusing to leave, refusing to concede. You lost. This is the most fair election. This is by Trump's own appointee that ran the election. He was fired last week for saying that. Officials in Michigan, in Georgia, Republican officials just came out and said this is a fair election. It doesn't benefit them that Trump loses. They're not Democrats. They're lifelong Republicans. Yeah. But they're good Americans. They're honest, God-fearing men. So you're saying these people are lying because they're all in on it. Everyone is on this conspiracy. Everybody's in for Trump because he lost.
No.
Come on, Jim.
No, I'm not saying.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm not saying that Governor Kemp or Mr. Raffensperger, I think his name is.
But they're being accused.
They may be accused. I think they're looking at things very differently.
Why would they? They're Republicans.
Well, I understand that.
But this is all about Democrats, right? It's like the Democrats stole it. The Democrats.
What I can't figure out, but I believe will come out over time. Like I just said, I think the clock is working, and there'll be no choice but for Mr. Biden to be inaugurated as
he wants fair and square. What do you mean no choice? There's show me proof. Show the American people proof. Don't just say cryptically. There's videos. There's secret spiders. No. Proof. This is America. Show us proof. It's so systematic. Everything that the right has brought up has turned out to be BS. From Obama's birther, what happened to that? From Hillary's email gate, is there any charges? Did he go to jail? Did she go to jail? And then from Hunter Biden's, there's this crap they created, this fake news. What happened to Hunter Biden's news? Nothing. See, that's what Trump does. That's what extremists does. That's what Nazi party does. This is what dictators do. They make up things. They cloud your judgment. This is very scary. The Republican Party, there's people in the Republican Party that came up and said this is not right. Bush Jr. came out and condemned him. To me, that is Republican Party. No. Do they not represent the Republican Party conservative values? So why do we only listen to Trumpers and not the majority of, because Bush Jr. and Mitt Romney, they're all establishment. They're all part of the steal, right? Is that what it is?
Well, okay.
I'm angry now. I'm worked up because it's not at you. I have friends that's been telling me this for months. Even yesterday, today, this week, you guys are just missold by the media. You guys are lambs. You guys are sheep. There's, of course, evidence. It's because they're being suppressed. Well, there's so much evidence. Well, show it to me.
That's why, Jimmy, I think we have to get past this inauguration. Let the Biden administration get started. But I do believe that the proof will emerge. I think it's under very, very high pressure, short-term, gun to your head type situation to try to prove things within 4 to 6 weeks. Anybody who's ever conducted any kind of litigation knows that it is very slow, very difficult.
And so now we blame it on the process because of look. I deal with compliance with lawyers every day.
In part it is. Now, you said something else that I will agree with about Mr. Trump hijacking the Republican Party, Mr. Trump making accusations, all those kind of things. Yeah. And some of that I will too agree with. That has undermined his credibility all along.
What credibility? Trump has no credibility, zero credibility.
Well, I don't know. We can debate that.
You know how many lies he's told? Documented lies? You know there's a count of it, right?
Well, yeah.
25,000 and counting.
Okay.
In 4 years. No, yeah. Proven lies. Look, you can say what you want about him. A reality TV star, entertainment. He's entertaining. Yes, it's fun. Don't accuse someone that dislikes him saying, "Oh, we're biased. We dislike him." We dislike this person because of his own actions, because of lies and the backward the attack on our democracy. It's his own actions, not because I'm biased. I just don't like this guy. No. There's reasons that this is his own doing. If you talk about Biden, you dislike Biden. Biden is not the one in the White House. Biden is not the one saying these things. Don't wear a mask and check yourself with bleach. Biden's not the one saying these lies. If Biden doesn't do a good job, 4 years later, we get him out of office. The pendulum will swing back. We need a good conservative candidate. But what Trump has done is divide this nation, create fear. It works. This tactic works. I see it. It happened in Venezuela, happened with Hitler before the Nazi Party took over after World War I. We talked about this before. What happened in Germany, during that period. We see it happen in Communist China with Mao. Mm-hmm. So please, this is a cultural revolution. This is the Trump cultural revolution. Blood will be shed. There are generations that will be hurt by this lie, this this divide he created. And guess what? I agree with you. If there is cheating, it needs to be called out because it's fundamentally a problem for our nation. But once again, let me remind you, 4 years, he's in the White House. He's the one in power. The states that are cheating are Republican controlled. So if this is a problem, then everything is a fake. Everything is a lie. Because what if this is Obama in the White House? What if Obama don't want to leave? What if Al Gore did this? Will we have the same tone? Will we say the same thing like, stop the steal? Like the Trump stole the election in 2016? No, we don't do that. We don't. As modern Americans, we look at it and go, it's done. You lost by 7 million votes. Your lawsuits kicked out of every court. So now before it was evidence. Now there's no evidence. So we say the process takes a long time. Oh, it's being suppressed. What other excuses will we find for him? Why would the Republican Party? So the Republican Party is in on it too then. They're all part of the song. How come he didn't drain anything for 4 years? What has he done?
And he could have, should have.
He couldn't.
He absolutely could have. One of the other things I respect tremendously about the Trump administration is Bill Barr and the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. But I cannot figure out why they have not made more progress. I do think the appointment.
You know why you can't figure it out? There's no progress because there's no cheating. Because it fits a narrative for him. Because it's made up. It's conspiracy theory. It's QAnon. It's Breitbart. It's French extremists.
Jimmy, let's suspend some of this discussion and come back to it 6 months from now. And see
I would love to. You know what? 6 months ago, we said the same thing. Where's birther? I thought Obama wasn't born here. What happened to Hillary's email gate? What happened? See, we forget. We forget the lies and the attack he creates. Trump creates these things, and then there's no more. Once it's done, it's done. The heart is done. But what happened to the proof? What about Hunter Biden's email gate? What happened?
I believe that the Hillary email is all part of the same James Comey, the tarmac.
But yeah, Trump didn't do nothing for 4 years. I'm confused. What? He's the president.
No, Jimmy, quite the opposite. I think Bill Barr and John Durham have been laying their legal groundwork very, very closely, very carefully, unfortunately, slowly, glacially. But Mr. Durham has just been appointed special counsel, which means that he is going to have a continuing lifespan to keep after all of this. And I believe some indictments will be coming. What do I mean by shortly? A month? 2 months? 6 months? It's
indictments. You mean indictments that indicted every single one of Trump's inner circle? Because all of them were indicted. All of them were indicted. Every one of his 2016 team was indicted. Are you talking about these indictments? Or are you talking about indictments that is due to Hillary or to Hunter or to Obama? What indictments?
Yeah. They haven't. Only one has come yet. That one Justice Department official that forged documents to change documents. Okay.
Jim,
there's going to be a lot more coming.
Jim, 6 months from now, we'll still be doing the show, and I will write it down. Let's revisit because as humans, we tend to forget the pain and suffering quickly because God made us and our genetics made us able to overcome that so that we can continue to live. Okay. Yeah. So as humans, we also buy in, there's certain type of people that buys into hate and fear. Oh, be careful of the immigrants. Be careful of the Mexicans. They'll come rob you and kill you. Be careful of these Chinese people. Be careful of these terrorists from the Muslim countries. People buy into that. It works. It works. Or the fear, the hate. They love hate. You know, it's everybody's fault. But 6 months from now, just like 6 months ago, all the lies he's told, all the fake accusations, nobody ever follows up. There's no accountability. You know, you kept saying, oh, Trump has no real, he is a liability, right? His credibility is shot because he says outlandish things. So it's our fault, the people's fault, that is the court. So the court, because it's biased toward Trump, the court doesn't take it. But yet you said the law process needs time, and it's like arguing both ways. It's like when you're a Trumper, then everything is on your side. Like we just gotta pick both sides. No. this way and this way is all unfair. We're being persecuted. As Republicans, as conservatives, we're under attack by the liberal tards, by these Democrats. No, this has to stop. Democrats are quiet. Well, nobody comes out and blah, 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 say these things because we're tired. But we're sick of these accusations. It does. Show me proof. That's all I got to say. Show me some proof. Don't say it's a conspiracy. Because Trump is in the White House. Justice Department, FBI, everybody's under his control. These are Republican states. These courts are Republican appointed judges. When you are relying on Rudy Giuliani to be your voice of reason, we're in big trouble, my friend. 6 months from now, let's revisit. Let's look at the legacy. 6 months from and 6 years from now, we'll talk about it. And I guarantee you we'll laugh about it. But I know that the hate and the divide that Trump has created will not go away because a pragmatic, reasonable, logical friends of mine, including you and a lot of my friends, they have been completely brainwashed. Because I'm not a Biden, I have to vote Democrat. I don't say this. 4 years ago, I didn't say, hey, Trump lied and cheated and wow, he shouldn't have won. I didn't. Because we're pragmatic. We think we didn't get caught up. I'm not going to stand there and believe in what the Democrats will tell me. Oh my God, Trump did. No, I'm not going to do that. But yet, if you're a Trumper, you can do all that. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, you know what, Jim? It's holiday time. Remember, I told you in the beginning of the show. Every time we talk about it, my blood pressure goes up. Yeah. It doesn't get anywhere because it's not just me and you. It's everybody. Half the nation is like this now.
Well, I think as time goes on, the reality of the challenge on the proof is setting in, and the media is saying, "Oh, let's move on. Let's move on."
The media's not saying move on. I'm saying move on. The media didn't say let's move on. They want to have this kind of stuff. They want to have viewership. They want to create more conflict.
Yeah, but the reality of all of these accusations not being successful in court has sunk in. And so it's going to take a much more significant effort to prove all of the charges. I think it will go on over the next 6 months.
Oh, of course it will. He's not going to quit. It benefits him.
Yeah.
It benefits him. He's getting more money.
I'll bet you a Chinese dinner.
You know, Jim, when you are well traveled and you're very cultured. When you see a Chinese dinner, it's multiple dishes from first course to soup. It includes duck and fish and lobster. It's not just a nice simple steak dinner. We're talking about multiple courses. So I'll bet you that. I love it. I'll bet you that. Wait, but we agreed the lawsuits will not end. How about this? Let's bet that there will be no court that will accept this and there will be no evidence. And 6 months later, we'll be the same place. Trump will still say it was stolen, stop the steal, stop the cheat, release the Kraken. Nothing will be resolved. How about we bet on that? You're betting that there will be an indictment.
That's okay.
No, you want to bet there is an indictment, right? That's what you're saying.
I don't know the parameters yet. Let me think about what the actual bet should be.
Okay. We'll bet on something. But you know what? We should get in 6 months, the vaccine will be out.
And then maybe the pandemic will let us have lunch again.
Finally, the vaccine will be out in 6 months. We're going to meet and have a break bread anyway.
Yeah,
we need to.
I'll tell you what. Let's make a wish for New Year's that we get back into normal.
Yes.
We get back into normal behavior, normal social functioning. Okay. And with that, we probably are out of time now.
Yes, we are. And Jim, once again, I love your patience. I love speaking with you. You're a friend, a mentor, and I appreciate you for being, I really am trying to get, we're doing a show for audiences, but people watch us because we have this clash, and you are always come. Some days I'm worried that I keep poking, trying to get a reaction in a way without me realizing I'm not trying to get you angry, but the way I look, because I can see myself, it's not.
Let me tell you a funny joke. You may or may not want to translate this to the Chinese audience. It's up to you. You know the difference between a sadist and a masochist?
No, I know what they mean both, but I don't know what the difference is.
Then you do know. Okay, so you know what the sadist, the masochist said to the sadist, hurt me, hurt me, hurt me. And you know what the sadist said? No.
Oh, wow. Okay, let me tell you this. Masochists, they enjoy pain. They derive pleasure from pain. They like to.
And the sadist enjoys giving pain.
Giving pain. So, wow, the irony of it. I'm going to steal that one. That's a great one. And that's what I feel like right now. I turn off. I don't watch mainstream news anymore. I really don't, except Wall Street Journal and looking at financial news. Sometimes you can't help it because financial news is going to be related. The markets are related to what's going on in DC. But once again, Jim, this holiday times, enjoy our family. And you said we have to live. We still have to.
We do. We do. And we need to think about 2 weeks from now is Christmas Eve night. And I doubt we're going to tape on Christmas Eve. No. So we need to do it probably Wednesday. At your choice. We'll work it out.
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Say hi to the missus. Thank her for getting on screen and letting our audience see.
Yeah, she'll make the whole set look better. I know that.
Always.
Okay, Jimmy. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.